Accidents are not random, they find us at moments when we least expect them, like signs of destiny appearing on the brink of despair or triumph. This is not a simple prediction, but a message that has traveled a long way to reach you now, when the soul is hungry for change. For representatives of the sign of Pisces comes a time of great accomplishments, a time to become not just rich, but to find true abundance, peace and a life that has always been dreamed of. Pisces, you are the embodiment of fluidity and depth, a conductor between worlds, possessing a mind that sees the future and a heart that feels the unspoken. Because of this unique connection to the unseen world, the message speaks to you in a special way, whispering of changes to come. A new stage of life is on the threshold, but it is coming not on someone else's whim, but because you yourself have made room for it, letting go of the past, no matter how painful it was. There is a voice inside you calling you to choose yourself, and this choice becomes the first step towards change. When a person makes a firm commitment to himself, he is unstoppable. Inexhaustible creativity slumbers within him, intuition serves as a reliable compass, and energy, directed in the right direction, can move mountains. Until now, however, he lacked the main thing, a clear direction, clarity of purpose, a kind of key that opens the way to success. And now this key is ready to appear, taking the form of numerical codes, not just random numbers, but vibrational sequences created especially for him, resonating with his unique frequency, magic and language. The universe interacts with us not only through emotions, but also through sacred math, through cause and effect relationships that open doors to invisible dimensions. And this man, more than anyone else, is ready to seize those opportunities. But before accessing these codes, it is important to realize one thing: the coming changes are not just a happy accident, but the result of the alignment of inner forces. It is not a passive expectation, but an active permission for one's self to be who he or she really is. For a long time, this person, like the Pisces sign, may have been waiting for someone to come and save him, to give him the recognition and opportunities he deserves. However, now came the realization that there is no need to wait for someone to choose him, because he has already made that choice himself. And when a person chooses himself, the universe responds to that choice. This obedience to the universe begins to manifest itself in the form of a clarity that can be felt with the whole body. The person begins to notice things that previously escaped his attention. His energy aligns, emotions lose their heaviness, and thoughts gain order. When numerical codes are open to the one who is ready for it, the whole field of possibilities changes. For representatives of the sign of Pisces comes a time of change, when their inner world begins to resonate at a new frequency. This is what has brought them to this moment, encouraging them to continue reading, because, even unconsciously, their soul has caught the essence of what is happening from the beginning. What lay ahead was the conclusion of some sort of agreement, sealed with a personal statement. They would have to formulate a decree, thus giving the universe the necessary signal. After that, nothing can stop the process that has already been set in motion. There comes a sacred moment when the energy of Pisces is fully synchronized with the coming events. This does not require complex rituals, special objects, or a vow of silence. All that is needed is a sincere intention and a firm word. When a person with an open heart and genuine emotions turns to the universe, any barriers collapse. Pisces is now being asked to make a decree, not just a wish or a hope, but a statement filled with truth that will solidify all that has already been activated by this message. This decree can be written down in comments, on paper, or even drawn in the air. The main thing is to do it from the heart. Pisces, activate the abundance that resonates with me and accept without fear all that the universe has in store for me. This decree is not just a phrase, but a key, and the keyhole is already visible on their door. When a person decides to take active action, the universe picks up this signal of readiness and openness to new possibilities. Throwing away the hesitation and expectation of a miracle, he himself becomes the initiator of change on the way to a desirable life, which before seemed an unattainable dream. And then, for representatives of the sign of Pisces, starts the mechanism of fate, but not in the form of a sudden triumph. Changes begin with subtle signs, recognized by the soul. A sudden phone call with an interesting proposal, an unexpected opportunity that was previously rejected, recurring numbers that haunt everywhere, in reality, dreams, even in the phone. All these are like secret messages from the universe, which has entered into a dialogue. It is responding to a new frequency, which is emitted by man, the frequency of a confident creator of his life, rather than a dreamer. These changes are noticeable in everything, in posture, voice, gaze. One no longer needs the approval of others to move forward, as one realizes that one's worth is determined not by external recognition, but by an inner conviction of one's own worth. Pisces has realized its true nature, throwing off the shackles of previous doubts. The shadow of uncertainty that once clouded their minds has dissipated, giving way to an unshakable faith in their own strength. For the first time, they allow themselves to thrive without guilt or the need to justify themselves. The fear of being out of the mainstream no longer restrains them, for they have come to realize that accepting what they deserve is not an act of selfishness, but an expression of respect for themselves. This inner decree awakens not only external changes, but also transforms the inner world of Pisces. Their thoughts take on a new direction, creativity bursts into a bright flame, and emotions stabilize, finding harmony. Chaos, which was confusing before, now becomes a powerful impulse to move forward. When Pisces find their inner center, they become a clear channel, a conduit of abundance, inspiration, sincere love and ideas that can heal and transform the world. This is not an accident, but part of their high mission. However, to fulfill it, one must find inner peace, tranquility and sufficient resources, time and energy. It is this change that is intended to provide Pisces with a new base state in which they do not survive, but create. If someone dares to claim that this is utopia, that such a life is impossible and it is necessary to resign oneself to gray everyday life, Pisces should only smile indulgently in response. It is obvious that the narrator has a deep understanding of the universe, realizing that reality is shaped through vibrations. He emphasizes that achieving what is desired is not through persistent striving, but through consciously maintaining the appropriate frequency. The narrator is currently broadcasting the frequency of merit, soft power and awakened magic. This unique frequency attracts new opportunities, interesting people, harmonious perspectives and unexpected prosperity into his life. Of course, money also comes into his life, as he no longer has to choose between his dreams and material prosperity. On the contrary, he can enjoy both, and this will become even more evident in the near future. The numbers are coming, which are his personal codes and keys that the universe has kept until he declared himself ready. The long-awaited moment foretold by his soul is coming. The invisible takes shape and feelings begin to materialize. In this process there is no place for chance or the vagaries of fate. The upcoming events are the result of the exact match of his energy, life path and true beliefs. He is different from other people and does not need dry proof. Instead, he seeks vibrations that resonate with his soul. We are talking about numbers, special codes endowed with the power of vibration in harmony with the inner world of man, and designed to activate the various spheres of his life. These spheres have long been ready for change, but only now they are finding the right key. For people born under the sign of Pisces, these numbers, 2, 16, 25, 10, 37 and 5, are not just a set of numbers, but something more. It is important not to memorize them, but to feel, to realize their meaning. Each number symbolizes a door leading to a certain state of abundance, opening new opportunities on the path of life. The number 2 symbolizes connection with the inner guide, willingness to cooperate and make decisions based on intuition. The number 16 symbolizes inner revelation, breaking free of outdated patterns and deep emotional release. The number 25 signifies a strengthening of purpose, creativity with clear direction and harmonious application of the power of the mind. The number 10 heralds energized endeavors, controlled expansion and gaining financial independence. The number 37 symbolizes energetic healing, action-oriented spiritual wisdom, and a sense of deserving without guilt. Finally, the number 5 signifies smooth change, unexpected opportunities, and a surge of vitality. These numbers are created in unison with a person's vibrations, as if waiting for their time, carrying a piece of the voice ready to return. And now that these numbers have been acquired, everything begins to change as the human energy field transforms, taking shape, structure and direction. No longer is there simply a sense of anticipation of coming change for the better, now there is an unwavering certainty that it is already here, in the present moment. And as soon as this confidence takes root in consciousness, life itself responds to it, the right people appear on the horizon, as if by magic fresh ideas materialize, and financial flows begin to flow more freely and effortlessly. A person, without making excessive efforts, begins to move forward with new energy, feeling greater clarity in his goals, unwavering confidence in his abilities and increased awareness of the present. So how do you use this powerful tool? The recommendations are simple and available to everyone. You should carry these numbers with you, write them down by hand, place them in prominent places where they will often catch your eye. You can choose one number a day and let it guide the course of events. When making important decisions, you should turn to the number that at the moment causes the greatest response in the soul. You can use these numbers as passwords, reminders or wallpaper on your phone screen. Saying them aloud also activates their energy, because the representatives of the sign of Pisces have a unique ability to revitalize what others repeat mechanically, without feeling. It is important to understand that these numbers, not new information that must be internalized, but rather a memory of what has already been laid inside. They are an integral part of the original vibration inherent in every human being. Up until this point, the individual has probably not allowed themselves to accept something important, but now, by decreeing and deciding, they have allowed it to happen by declaring their willingness to not miss the mark. This is what dramatically changes the situation. One should not expect grandiose events. Sometimes the most significant comes quietly, like a gentle wave, a light sigh, a modest decision that suddenly opens a wide horizon. This is exactly what will happen in the near future. Numbers will begin to show up in everyday life, in messages, in the time on a check, in dates, on a random piece of paper that appeared out of nowhere. Every time these signs are noticed, when one of them reappears, you should smile, for it is the universe confirming the correctness of the chosen path. Now, for the representatives of the sign of Pisces, it is important to maintain this energy. It is not enough to activate it for a short period of time and then forget it. Activated energy is real and requires constant feeding. In the following it will be shown how to turn it into a stable energetic habit that will accompany, organize and support for a long time. This was not just an enjoyable experience, but a turning point. Pisces had already gotten their numbers, activated their field, issued the decree and opened the door. Now that you've felt the rush of fresh energy, the key is to be able to integrate it into your daily life, transforming fleeting inspiration into a sustainable foundation for further growth. It's important to stop looking for external validation and start radiating this energy yourself, becoming a source of positive change. After all, what you have just awakened in yourself is not just a momentary inspiration, but a new reference point, a higher and purer vibration that resonates with your true potential. To keep this vibration alive, you need to take responsibility to yourself by creating a personal support system based not on external prescriptions, but on the pursuit of inner harmony. To do this, simple but effective practices are enough to help you stay in touch with your already activated energy. Instead of complicated rituals, focus on frequency, fluidity, and inner truth. Each day, choose one number from your personal code and tune into its energy. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, what is the significance of the number 2 for me today? Where can I see the number 25 manifesting in my life? What does the number 10 want to show me? Live your day with this conscious intention. It is not about obsessive thoughts, but about allowing this frequency to accompany you, guiding your decisions and actions in alignment with your new, higher vibration. Anchor your decisions in this vibration, allowing it to serve as a compass on your life path. In times of important decisions, it is recommended to listen to your inner voice, trusting your intuitive sense of which of the numbers responds with the most power. This inner guide will show you the right path, and you should not question it. It is recommended to place your numbers in those places where the eye is most often delayed, on the mirror, walls, in the diary or purse. Let these symbols constantly remind you of the changes that have taken place, of the new frequency that supports and remains unchanged. Each week you should return to your decree, rewriting it anew. Even if the words are already memorized by heart, each rewriting will bring you back to a state of inner balance. It will be a reminder of the reality of what is happening, that this is not just a beautiful illusion, but the awakening of something that has been waiting for years. It is not just a matter of mechanical repetition, but a careful and conscious look at the world around us. The new perception will allow you to notice signals that previously went unnoticed. A sense of peace will appear in places that were previously uncomfortable. There will be a greater willingness to let go of what is not in alignment with your inner vibration, the power to end outmoded cycles, and clarity to choose what is conducive to personal growth. This is how numbers manifest their power when used consciously and with presence. If there is any doubt, or if it seems like it was too intense, or just a beautiful but fleeting idea, stop, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Imagine 6 numbers, like constellations floating in the sky above your head, each of them slowly rotating, emitting a muted but confident light. Look at them, feel their presence, allow them to surround you, to enclose you in their arms, reminding you, representatives of the sign of Pisces, that to realize the truth does not need to see. Your strength lies in the ability to feel, in the ability to float, in trust in the universe. These codes, like living sparks, are burning inside you, because what once acquired does not disappear without a trace, but becomes an integral part of your energy field, your vibration, your life itself. Now is not the time to waste energy, on the contrary, it is time to stabilize it, to direct it in the right direction, to enjoy it, for there is a value in enjoyment. Not everything in life has to be full of deep meaning, a burden, or a transformative experience. Abundance manifests itself in lightness, laughter, and pleasure unmarred by guilt. And you, Pisces, deserve it, for many lifetimes you have given generously without expecting anything in return. And this time, it is not about receiving as a deserved reward, but as a natural consequence of your efforts, for you have worked tirelessly on yourself, kept your inner fire burning, and lovingly activated your potential. Do not worry if the external manifestations are not yet obvious. First of all, the changes are happening inside. What you have achieved so far is already a new way of thinking, a new way of choosing, a new way of being in the world, and this is where the path to change begins. The inner world of a person and her perception of material goods, time and personal significance undergo radical changes. The decisions made become more balanced, inner speech is filled with respect for oneself, and confidence in every step becomes unshakable, because these qualities are deeply rooted in the essence of the individual. There comes a culminating moment when all the changes achieved are solidified with unwavering determination, sincere gratitude, and crystal clarity, allowing the full potential of the soul to be realized. An invisible bridge has been crossed that previously separated from a sense of abundance that seemed unattainable. This abundance is no longer felt as a distant prospect, but as a real and intimate presence. This process is more than a simple familiarization with information. It is a kind of silent contract between the soul and the universe, a deep dialogue with the wisest part of oneself, an activation of inner resources. And although these changes are not always visible externally, they are reflected in everything, in the manner of speech, gait, thoughts about time, money and self-worth. There is no longer a need to look for evidence of one's worth, because it is felt at a deeper level. The individual is now experiencing a change in his inner state, moving to a qualitatively different level of consciousness. This new level becomes his starting point, his personal ground zero, filled with crystal clarity, inexhaustible strength and unshakable calm. It is from this point that all aspects of life are perceived differently, more harmoniously, more easily, and more in line with one's true essence. The reason for these positive changes lies in the fact that the individual has traveled a certain path, performing actions not with perfect precision, but with an open heart, which is his characteristic feature. The universe, being an observer, notes this, because there is no need to explain the laws of energy exchange to this person. He intuitively feels energy, perceives its manifestations, breathes it and is able to read it in people, in the surrounding space and even in silence. That quality that for a long time made him feel too sensitive, is now transformed into his greatest gift. This sensitivity is not a weakness, but a kind of radar, a personal compass. It is what allows him to anticipate the direction of the world and know where to go next, ahead of others. This has always been inherent in him, and now he finally finds faith in what he has always known. His destiny is to live a full life, in harmony with himself and the world around him, to have enough and even surplus for a comfortable life, for creativity, caring for others and enjoying every moment. In this new stage of life there is no need to explain or justify anything. There is no need to prove your right to it, because what is deserved does not require explanation, it is honored, accepted with gratitude and supported. This is what the individual intends to do now, to honor, thank, and support his new stage of life. The individual will support their renewed state of mind with unwavering love by making clear and informed decisions, setting healthy boundaries in relationships and pursuing projects that inspire them wholeheartedly, and surrounding themselves with people who truly appreciate them. And even when fear tries to creep in, which is likely, he won't let it take over and drag him down into the abyss of doubt. Instead, he will meet it with calm and confidence, acknowledging its presence but firmly stating, "Thank you for your visit, but you no longer determine the direction of my path, for now my path is illuminated by my own codes, my guidance, my decisions, my numbers, and the unique frequency that is firmly anchored in me and has become an integral part of my renewed being." And there will come a moment when things begin to manifest in the form of unexpected income that had previously been blocked, in the form of amazing offers that exceed the wildest expectations, in the form of people bringing fresh and innovative ideas, in the clarity of mind that allows you to put together what seemed impossible. You will be relieved when you look at your account and do not have to frantically count every penny, and you will have a genuine smile on your face when you can say, "No," without fear of losing everything, because now your actions are dictated not by fear of want, but by inner confidence and prosperity. Pisces, you will reap the rewards of your efforts, and this fact will radically transform your reality. This stage of completion is not an epilogue, but rather a prologue to a new chapter of your life. You emerge as a conscious protagonist who is not passively waiting for the current of events to carry him along, but is confidently using your emotions, energy, and life experience to achieve your goals. You no longer need ideal conditions to move forward. Moving forward is driven by your inner feelings, and by following them, you shape your reality, demonstrating your strength and willingness to change. If this message has resonated with your soul and awakened new feelings in you, if you realize that your path has led to a profound transformation, then take the final step. Subscribe to the Pisces Green Horoscope to stay connected to positive energy and continue to evolve. This is just the beginning of your journey and great things are ahead of you. Answer now with your inner voice, which never deceives. Are you ready to fearlessly accept all that your soul is already ready to receive? The universe has already given its consent. In conclusion, in order to achieve optimal results when paraphrasing a text, a number of key principles must be observed. It is important to retain the scope and structure of the original, while enriching the language and avoiding repetition. Factual information and terminology should remain unchanged, and the tone of the text should match the original. The main objective is to convey the main idea clearly, adhering to a journalistic style of narration and maintaining a third-person perspective.